Hey, my name is Katie Parker, and today I'm going to be going over a first grade lesson plan for phonemic awareness. My objective is to be able to add, delete, or substitute sounds or phonemes to create new words. That follows ELA 1E1 of the curriculum. To start the lesson, we're going to go over what we've already learned, as in a review, of distinguishing which words have the same target sounds, the beginning, medial, and final, in a given set of spoken words. The first question can be, listening to the following sentence, can you tell me which words have the same beginning sound? The fish swam across my feet. Fish and feet have the same beginning sound. For another question, we can say, can you tell me the words that have the same ending sound in this sentence? That fox is wearing socks. Fox and socks both have the x ending. Therefore, they have the same final sound. Listen again. Do these words also have the same medial sound, as in the sound in the middle? Ox, ox. The is the middle sound, and they both have the same one. Therefore, they have the same medial sounds. We're going to play a little game and make up a story having words with similar sounds. We're just going to start on this side of the room saying funny words, anything that you can come up with that has the same sound in it, whether it be the beginning, the middle, or the end. We're just going to make a silly story up one word at a time and see what all we can come up with. And once that is done for the review, we can start with our actual lesson. The overview of this lesson, the purpose of it is to prepare students for a successful transition into phonics and reading. Learning how to substitute and add and delete phonemes is essential to be able to read and have any rhythm. So the continuity, last week we learned how to tell which words had the same beginning, medial, or final, which we just did in the review. Today we're going to learn how to make different words by changing that beginning, medial, or final sound. And in the future, for tomorrow, we'll be learning rhyming words by identifying the same final sounds. And the objective of this lesson is that the learner will be able to add, subtract, or substitute sounds to create new words. For the motivation to get kids really interested in learning this, I'm going to show the YouTube video of Fox and Socks by Dr. Seuss.
Socks on blocks on knocks. Chicks with bricks go, chicks with blocks go, chicks with bricks and blocks and blocks go. Look, sir, Mr. Knob, sir. Let's do tricks with bricks and blocks, sir. Let's do tricks with chicks and blocks, sir.
That was just a clip from the video that will be shown, and to show the video, you'll need a computer, a projector, and access to YouTube. Once the video is shown to the students, go over some of the different sound changes that you can find. There are several of them throughout the entire book. Once you kind of explain that to your students, have the students tell you some of the ones that they found in there. Go from Fox and Socks and how it has the initial sound change, or bricks and blocks, how the middle sound changes in there. Once that is done, we can move into the activities of the day for the adding, subtracting, and substituting phonemes. The behavioral objective is the learner will orally convert sounds in words to create new words with 90% accuracy. This falls under the understanding category in Bloom's taxonomy. Starting out, we're going to be using an activity off of the FCRR website. It's called Drop and Say. The teacher will separate the class into 3 groups, giving each group 2 triangles that look like this. This one is for the beginning sounds, and we have different ones that take care of the ending sounds. You'll give them the cards that go with it, and each have a picture on them, and give them game pieces or counters, anything that they could take to cover up the little circles right here. For this part, we're just observing the class to make sure they're doing it right, and we're going to have the groups of 3, you know, maybe 2, maybe 4, depending on how many students you have, but somewhere around 3, so each student could have the chance to do 2 on each one of these because there's 6 of them. The teacher will then model the activity by first picking a card out of the deck, and we're going to start with the beginning sound. So this is the deck of cards, and I would pick one, and this is mice. So you would look at the triangle that goes along with these and explain how if we have mice, which is I, if we drop the sound, what are we left with? Ice. So ice, and that makes what word? Ice. So we look back to this one, and there's a picture of an ice tray with a cube of ice on it. So therefore, if we take mice and drop the initial sound of we are left with ice. So we would take the counter or a game piece or whatever we wanted to use and place it over ice. And you do this with all the cards. You know, you would definitely want to go around in groups, and each person in that group would, you know, take turns, draw another one. This one right here, the arrow is actually pointing to his pants. So again, we would show the students that it's ants. Ants. So if we drop the p sound, what are we left with? Ants. So you look on this page and see if you can find ants. And we have a picture right here of ants. So you would cover that one up with the counter or the game piece. These are all the initial sounds. There's 2 different triangles for those, so you can do different ones for different groups. This one is a little harder. It takes care of the ending sounds. So we have another deck, and we're just going to draw one out of this, and this is a bean. So we tell the students to pronounce bean. If we drop that final sound of the what are we left with? And we go through it, the b, e, n, b, e, n. We drop in the n sound. So what are we left with? B, e, b. So we look on the sheet and see if we find a B. It's right there. So again, we would just cover and take care of that. The teacher definitely wants to go over what all of these represent, because some of these students, especially first grade, are not going to understand. There are some harder ones. For instance, this right here is play, and it would correspond with plane. This is a doll. There's just some difficult ones that they probably wouldn't understand, so you want to go over with the students what the cards actually represent. For homework, the learner will draw 3 different sets of objects that have the same final sound, showing that they understand how to substitute the initial sound. Not only will that help them remember stuff from today, but it'll also help tomorrow whenever we start rhyming. For the early finishers in the class, the learner will color the objects in the triangles that they found. The second activity nobody should get done before anybody else because we're going through them one by one with me. So just for the first one, if somebody gets done a few minutes early, they could just pull out their crayons and color. For the special needs students, the special need of reading disability, that student can continue working in a small group for the second lesson. They're already working in a small group for the first one. The English language learner can sit closer to the teacher to see how the mouth should move as you're saying each phoneme. And then any special needs student can receive separate and extra time to review and reattempt these activities with special instruction by either the teacher or the aide, so make sure they actually get it at the end of the day. In remediation for the students that just didn't catch on, we can redo it in a small group using step-by-step directions and assessment, while the other kids that really understood it and got it really quickly, they can complete the fourth worksheet that came with the name changes activity, and it is basically the same thing as the other ones, except for it's not specifically just the initial, medial, or final. It's all of them mixed together, so they would really have to understand it to be able to tell which one is changed in the pictures. And that concludes the Phonemic Awareness Lesson Plan for first grade. The activities that I used in here came from the website fcrr.org. They were called Drop and Say and Name Changes. Thank you for watching.